Hi there and welcome back. So this is now one of the final parts in our little series on the will and the would. Okay, so we are trying to find a method that will stop you having to memorize all these endless tables of verbs. We don't need 6 endings for every tense, we don't want to be thinking about this. So we have previously talked about how the future tense comes from have. Okay, and I told you a nickname I give this tense with my students is the kernel tense, because straight away I want you to think will is going to match have. So I have, j'ai, tu as, il a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, and we are going to be taking one sound from the have verb. And the reason I do this little 3 gesture is the kernel, salute, but to remind you that we're thinking 1, 2, 3, because for some reason students find I have more easily when they think I have done something. So j'ai mangé, tu as dansé, il a whatever. But basically we're using have, we're using the have word, and I need one sound from the have for the future. So j'ai gives me a, tu as will give me a, il a will give me a, nous avons will give me en, vous avez will give me a, ils ont will give me en. Okay? And likewise, we looked at the conditional. Okay? We looked at verbs where we were using the word would in English. I would like, I would speak, I would dance. And we talked about how the ending that's going to go on the end of the word there will be from the imperfect tense, from the was tense. So a, ion, a. So if we look at the two, first things first, we can tell 2 very different things. What we can tell is that one of them seems to have more endings, but they're actually both pretty similar. You might say, well, all of the would is a. Yeah, all of the would is a. 4 out of 6 are a. Yeah, to pronounce a. Ion is different, ea is different than a. But you wouldn't be wrong, but you could also think, well, like we've said previously with the future tense has a trick. What's the trick with the future tense? Yes, we remember one sound from have, but we need to remember that there's actually only 3 sounds, because a and a sound identical, a and a sound identical, because we don't pronounce as or a any differently, and o and s and ot sound identical as well. Okay, so we have a, en. So really, in both sets, we have 3 sounds. We have in the future a, and en, and in the conditional, the would, we have a, ion and ea. But that's too complicated to think of. So what I want you to be thinking is when in a hurry you need to give me I will, you quickly think I have, and you steal that middle sound. So I will speak, j'ai, I have, je parlerai. You will speak, tu as, tu parleras. Okay? And so on. Nous avons, nous parlerons. So really try and find that link between the have and the future. Same with the conditional. Yeah? You don't really need to go to the was to find it, you just remember your was endings. A for everybody, ion and ea. So let's try and do some examples in some sentences, okay? Let's try and bear in mind, keeping this in mind, but let's see if we can do this without thinking of these until we need to. So you try and use these 2 methods. So let's say and now for this I need you to have seen also the video on irregular futures, okay, because they are very common, okay? So if you can look at the irregular futures video, that will help you very much. So, he will dance with my sister. He will dance with my sister. So first thing, he will, you tell me, are we in the sensible tense from the have? Or are we in the messy tense, he would dance with my sister, but she can't dance? We're in the sensible. So I need an ending on the end of the verb, which is going to come from the verb have. So he has, il a, so he will dance, il dansera. Okay? Obviously you will get to the stage where you do not need to be saying the he has, it will just come to you. So he will dance, il dansera avec ma sœur. Il dansera avec ma sœur. He would dance with my sister, but she's getting a drink. So he would dance. So he would. There's something going on. He would dance. It's not definite. So I need my slacker, messy endings. A. Okay? So il danserait. So il danserait avec ma sœur. He would dance with my sister. Mais elle n'est pas là. She's not there. Okay? Elle n'est pas là. Okay? He will be in Paris at midday. So do you remember in the last video I told you there was an irregular for the verb to be? We don't say être or être or être, we use ser. And I told you that the song Que sera sera, although obviously not referring to French, referring to Spanish, same verb in the future, ser, okay? Can I remind you that it's not ser either, it's ser, because we have this E without an accent, don't we? In the chest, adolescent noise, like je. So, he will be, quickly he will, now is this neat tense future, or is this slacker, messy would tense? It's the neat, he will. So he has, il a, he would, il sera. Yeah? Stick it on the end of the R. So he would be, il sera, il sera à Paris à midi. He will be in Paris at midday. Remember, as with all the videos, a transcript of the text we're using is underneath. But the reason it's not being written on the board behind you is I want you to do it with sound. Okay? So, we would be with him, but we can't be there. Okay? So, our future block for be is ser. We would. So straight off, you tell me, we would, are we in the neat tense or the conditional with a bit of a mess? The would. So what's my endings for the bit of a mess? A for everybody apart from nous and vous. So we're with the nous and the vous now. Who's the nous ending? Ion. So we would be, nous serions with him, avec lui, but we can't. Mais on peut pas, on ne peut pas. Okay? They would love a drink. They would like a drink. Let's use they would like. So we say the word like, but we often mean in French they would want a drink, which is where your classic voudrais comes in, which you have heard, which is probably the first conditional you ever learned. I would like, je voudrais. Okay? So, they would like, is they would in the neat will or the messy would? It's in the messy would. So what are my messy would endings? Very easy, 4 out of 6 the same, unless it's nous ou vous. A. So they would like, il voudrait. Okay, good. So il voudrait un boisson. Il voudrait quelque chose à boire. Okay, something to drink. I will come. I will come. Now our verb to come is venir. Okay, quick reminder. What type of verb is venir? Is it an A verb? I can't hear an A, can you? Or a soft and a hard verb? It's a soft and a hard. But is it a classic soft and a hard verb, or do we have a stem change? We have a stem change. Okay, what's our stem change? Viens. Okay, viens. So, viens, 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 venons, venez, viennent. There's our present tense come. So a general rule for you will be, would be, there you go, using will and would in English. A general rule for you would be, if we have to play with the verb in the present tense quite a lot, chances are in the future we're going to need a special block. So we're not going to say the verb to come with our normal endings. We're not going to say venirai, venira, venira. No, no, no. So as discussed in the last episode, the future block, as we're calling them for to come, is viendre, viendre, V-I-E-N-D-R. So straight off with that in mind, how would you say they will come? They will is the kernel tense, it's the neat tense, it's the proper tense. Give me they have, ils ont. Give me they will come, ils viendront. We would come, messy ending for nous, ions. We would come, nous viendrions. Okay. He will come. He will, proper tense, I need have. He has, il a. He will come, il viendra. Okay. Two of the ones which are really quite easy to find using the method I talked about with the alcohol. So, what's the verb to be able to normally? You often think of this as can. Pouvoir, pouvoir. Nice monkey mouth, not pu. Yeah, not top lip, pu, which means to stink. Okay, so pu, no, pou, pouvoir. Okay, so I wouldn't go pouvoirait, pouvoira, would I? I say pour plus my ending. So he would be able to do something. Okay, il pour. Give me the would ending, the messy. Il pourrait. Okay, he will. Nice proper future. He has. Il pourra. Okay, we would like, using simple MA, we would like using en. So is en nous ou vous? No, it might represent nous ou vous, but it isn't nous ou vous. So that means in the would tense, what can I safely assume? It's an A ending. So we would like, on aimerait. Okay, on aimerait. We will like, we will, same as we have, using on a, il a, elle a, on a, we will like, on aimera. Okay, so you really need to constantly be playing around with this idea of the will is going to be taking from the have, and the endings are going to be one syllable, a, on. Okay, and the would is going to be taking from the same theme, the messy, relaxed. 4 out of 6 the same, something a bit more complicated that we have in the past, okay, which is the A endings. Okay, I hope this has been useful. So all in all, if you want to revise this section, you have a guide to the simple future, a guide to how to form the irregulars, a guide to the conditional, and a look between the two types at the same time. Okay, I will probably add in one more verb pairing, which I will do in another video, which will be, like I previously mentioned, how we use were and how we use would together. Okay, and I think that would be really useful, and then you are completely good to go for this kind of work. Okay, if you've liked this video, if it's really helped you try and find that sense of what to do with the word without having to visualize them all the time, then do please click like, because it tells me what you enjoy. And obviously get in touch with me if you've got any videos you would like on things which trouble you with your French. Okay, bye bye.